So Stephen, because Triple H was in town to promote WrestlePalooza on Friday. I mean, they had Cody Rhodes, they had Seth Rollins, they had different superstars come through ESPN to promote WrestlePalooza as it was the first premium live event on ESPN. So Stephen A decided to do his A-list. Top 5 wrestlers of all time. And like you always say, the list is fluid. The list is fluid. I like what Jeff Saturday said one day. The list can be fluid, but it doesn't stop you from nonsense. Because this is what this list is, nonsense. Number 5, the Water Warriors, one of the greatest tag teams to ever step foot in a square circle. Number 4, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Number 3, Hollywood / Hulk Hogan. Number 2, the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And number 1, Goldberg. Cool McCain, I'm gonna let you go ahead and tear this list off first before I do.
Stephen A. Smith, you're a clown. You're definitely not a true wrestling fan. I mean, Road Warriors, I wouldn't put them in my top 5, but whatever. The Rock makes sense. Hulk Hogan, due to his current state of affairs, I would not have put him in my top 5 because I think how you are off camera also matters to you being a top quality person. So I wouldn't put him there. Ric Flair, if Ric Flair is not your top 5, then your top 5 deserves to be burnt, spit on, and urinated on immediately. Goldberg on anybody's top 5 list is the biggest joke I've ever seen, especially number 1. I mean, so many more wrestlers you could have put. Stephen A. Smith as I'm going to use a politically correct term, as a person of color. To only have one person of color on your top 5 list is kind of crazy to me. You could have went with a tag team like Doom or something to bolster your representation. Hulk Hogan should have definitely been off the list. So many more people you could replace him with. You could have went with, like a Dusty Rhodes. So many more people, right? I'm going to sit here and take the time to name everybody. Goldberg should not be on this list. So there should be at least 2 new people on this list, right? You don't have John Cena on this list or Stone Cold. How can you not have either Stone Cold or John Cena on this list? And honestly, it's hard for me to put anybody over Ric Flair. This current list, if anybody's number 1, I got to put the Nature Boy. Because Ric Flair was styling, profiling, and jet flying back before I was born. And playmaker. But you know him. He stays relevant. Music, all the different companies he's been in, he's always had a strong performance. Champion a whole lot of times, right? When reigns actually weren't just, you're going to win just so you can win and then lose it a few months later. Ric Flair made wrestling what it is today. We talk about Hulk Hogan and all that. Hulk Hogan helped WWE, but if we didn't have Ric Flair, there wouldn't have been a Hulk Hogan because there wouldn't have been somebody to start drawing people in. You can disagree with my statement. I do not care. Relevance, Hulk Hogan, yeah, but the off-field, just misogynistic, racist crap that he spewed in Hulk Hogan pushes him down my list. But Flair, he got to be number 1, bro. Like the amount of time he was a relevant wrestler and all that, he got to be number 1. If he ain't number 1, you just straight doodle butter, in my opinion. You might can make an argument for a few other people, but Flair not number 1? Come on, man. The representation of your own race not really there? Like, what is you doing, Stephen A. Smith? What Stephen A. Smith is doing, and my co-host will, of course, talk about this, it's called trolling. Do I think that he's stupid enough to really believe this list? No. If this truly is his top 5, he will never cover wrestling, please, for ESPN. Don't even let him speak about pro wrestling anymore. That's all I got to say about that.
As he was doing this list, He says War Warriors, number 5. Okay. A lot of people talk about the War Warriors as one of the best tag teams to ever do it. I ain't going to harp on that. Okay. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, number 4. That's my guy. That's my dude. Favorite wrestler of all time. Put him at number 4. That's your opinion. But I'm not going to fight you for it because it's your list. And I see. I like where you're heading at. Hulk Hogan, number 3. Everything my co-host said is I concur with, but at the same time, if you put Hulk Hogan in your top 5, I'm not going to be the one to blow back on it because I know how much Hulk Hogan meant to the business. Just the business. But I do echo what my co-host said. So I'm not going to, fight you about Hulk Hogan being number 3 or anywhere in the top 5. I'm not going to do it. Ric Flair. Damn, so I ain't going to fight you about no damn Ric Flair. That is the nature, boy. Woo! To beat a man, you got to beat the man, all that good stuff, all that. Oh, no. You would never hear anything, no corn about me when it comes to a top 5 list and Ric Flair's on it. You would not hear from me. I ain't going to do it. And then we got the number 1. I'm sitting here like, okay, is either Stone Cold or John Cena? Goldberg. Why did Stephen A. Smith put Goldberg at number 1? You ready for this answer?
Sure.
The man with 176-0 before he had a loss.
Like I said, not allowed to talk wrestling in my presence anymore. If I see Stephen A. Smith and he said something about wrestling, channels changed. But honestly, I don't watch Stephen A. Smith anyway.
I said on this program that when I first started watching wrestling, Goldberg was that dude for me, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But I was little and I wasn't privy to everything that wrestling had to offer. So, I went with what I saw, and Goldberg was that guy for me growing up. And then I got to know about Steen, and then I got to switch over to WWF at the time. And I got to see The Rock and Austin and The Undertaker and Triple H and all these other guys. I started to get a better view of the wrestling landscape, okay? To come around to The Rock being my number 1 guy, Undertaker and Steen, you can go 2A, 2B. I don't care which order you want to put them in, but them 2 is like number 2 on my list because I love both of them that much. Correct? You want to go there, okay, that's you technically got like 3 people in there, so give me 2 more. Well, I am a big Randy Orton fan. I enjoy a good RKO, especially out of nowhere, more than anybody else. Okay, then you need a 5th person. Who would be my 5th person? You talking about me as I am a 5th guy of wrestling. Number 5 is up for grabs. John Cena. You can go Roman Reigns. You can go anywhere. That's just my favorite people. But we talking about top 5 wrestlers of all time? Can you help me with an Olympian that used to wrestle? I can't think of his name right now. You talking?
Are you talking about the one that had a theme song that went like "You suck, you suck"?
Yes, that guy. Yeah, that guy. His name is
I believe his name would be one Kurt Angle.
I mean, Stephen A. is older than me and you, right?
Stephen A. is older about everybody I know. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's older than us.
Did he not watch Kurt Angle wrestle?
He didn't go 187-0.
We talking about Kurt Angle here. A wrestling machine. Okay. Well, I'm not doing favor. We talking wrestlers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. There was a guy who was known as the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Until he got kicked in the head by Goldberg.
Unfortunately. What's that guy name?
Number 1 wrestler. He didn't even say one Bret Hart.
The excellence of execution.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing a couple of names out there, you know. Let me think. Let me think of anybody else I can think of.
I know you ain't gonna forget Virgil Runnels.
I mean, who is the guy that is the never seen 17? I forgot that guy.
John Cena.
I mean, nobody has ever won 17 titles in the WWE. I mean, come on. I mean, of course, you know, the nature boy with Flair, you know, he speaks for itself. Oh, what about the guy that is as probably known as the greatest character ever created in WWE? You know, remember that guy's name? I think we talked about him earlier.
What you mean, the Undertaker?
Oh yeah. The Undertaker, that guy. You know, he only wrestled for like what, almost 3 decades.
It might be this guy. He had a bad back injury. He was hard on drugs, but when he was hitting.
Oof.
He did this move that we used to call sweet chin music.
Oh, you talking about Mr. WrestleMania, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
And if we want to talk about guys who had all the potential in the world, but unfortunately were gone too soon, but were still magnificent the time they were there, in whatever role you gave them, I think we talked about his older brother earlier.
Ooh, older brother.
At one point, he was known as the Blackheart.
Owen Hart.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I mean, I mean,
and one man that we played his catchphrase earlier was a champion in World Championship Wrestling of the African American persuasion. He went by the name Brooke at one point.
Ron Simmons.
That guy.
Good old Ron Simmons. Oh, you know, I mean, if you want to do a current, you want to do some current guy. I do know there's a guy who's known as phenomenal. I mean, the name says it by itself. Phenomenal.
You said this one earlier, but I just have to make sure that I reiterate.
Oh yeah. We do acknowledge the one and only Roman Reigns. And also, you got that guy who's known as phenomenal. I mean, they don't call him phenomenal for no reason.
They don't want none. Mr. AJ Styles.
You see all the names we just threw out there that are considered top wrestlers. Stephen A., do better. You got.
There's another guy that you was actually talking to that you could have thrown on your top 5.
Oh yeah, and that guy who said, by the way, he said, mind if I break this down? So in his profession, the main thing Stephen A. does is piss people off, is what he said. And so, you know, he started off good. You know, he gave you your War Warriors, you know, one of the greatest tag teams that ever do it. And he gave you The Rock, you know, The Rock and what he has done on and off the ring and all that stuff. Then you have Hulk Hogan, which most people ain't gonna argue about unless you me, Cool McCain, or Cole Johnson. And then you have the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and everybody knows how everybody feels about the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And then he Stephen A's it all up. But what will piss the most amounts of people off? You put Goldberg in number 1. And that guy was Triple H.
Stephen A. Smith was a big head troll.
That's basically what Triple H was saying. Pretty much Triple H was saying, what's the way for Stephen A. to get the most people to talk? You put Goldberg in number 1.